Hi everyone, welcome to Nareen's Life with MS. This is Nareen, and it is time for Slowdown Saturdays. And I know that this is definitely one of my favorite days, and definitely one of my favorite, um, one of my favorite recordings to make, just because I get to literally do the same thing that I did the entire day, which is absolutely nothing, which is what makes these which is essentially what makes these days perfect, uh, especially for me. But with that said, today I wanted to do something slightly different, um, because I try to make meditation a daily part of my life, and usually one thing that I know for sure happens is if I don't have a lot of time to do a slightly longer meditation, anything from above half an hour is what I would consider a long meditation. The one good thing is that because I am doing yoga in the morning and yoga in the evening, I tend to have very small bursts of meditation happening there as well, especially when I'm going through all of the movements, all of the asanas and everything. But this is something that is similar to meditation, because the one thing I definitely see when meditation is happening is that we are manifesting things that need to improve in our body. Now, the other side of the coin is, of course, making affirmations to ourselves, doing all of that. And I have a very dear friend who actually did recommend that I start EFT tapping, and this is the first time I'd actually heard of it. So, of course, a quick Google search and a little bit of arguing with AI. I actually managed to get quite a bit of information regarding EFT tapping. Not only that, I did watch, I want to say probably three videos on YouTube to also learn what is the best way to practice EFT tapping. Now, one of the best things about EFT tapping is that it takes maybe a minute, and the thing is, during the entire time you are going to be giving yourself affirmations, and these affirmations are things that are pretty small to do. You just have to tell yourselves positive words, give yourself positive messages saying that everything is going to be all right. You are currently in a certain place where you don't need to be, but um, but just making sure that you are you know activating all of these acupressure points. The entire part of EFT tapping is, of course, the acupressure points. You are going to improve your health or whatever negative emotions you might be feeling. So, let's get started very, very quickly with what all happens. So, there are 9 places where you have to tap. So, I'll just go through them very quickly. I hope I don't get anything wrong. So, the first place is, of course, on the side of your hand. They usually call it the karate chop um, part, because it is right where you do a karate chop. So it's right along this line. Tap it over here. You can tap with one finger, you can tap with 2 fingers, just whatever feels right for you. So that is the first part. The second is right over here on the inside of your eyebrows. So so if you probably frown a lot, right, you tend to see that when you're frowning there are these two little bumps. I like to think that those are the places where we need to tap. Then of course there is right over here on the side of the eye that you can tap, right under the eye where you can tap. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, and I know that that all needs to happen. And then yes, 8 right under your um, arm, right over here. You need to do that as well. So you're practically just going around your face. Now I recounted 8. I know there are 9. So one thing I will do is after this, when I'm actually giving you the demonstration, I will pretty much showcase where all of these 9 places are, and the entire thing just takes about 1 minute, more or less. All you really have to do is just tap. So maybe give yourselves 10 quick taps on all of these different areas. And the one thing you should hopefully see is that there are you are definitely feeling a little better. Now because this is 1 minute, I hope that there are multiple ways for you to achieve this little part in yourself. And do know that it will definitely take a little bit of time to feel these effects, but the good thing is the better you become at EFT tapping, the faster the results actually start appearing. So with all of that said, now I will go back to my AI slash Google slash all of the other things, look at what all of these 9 spots are, and then when I return, we will actually go over all of these different places. The one thing that I'm going to do is maybe focus more on the well-being side of things. You can definitely look up what are some of the other affirmations that you can do to ensure that you are fixing whatever you feel is currently misaligned with you, right? So I'll come back, but see you soon. So I'm back. The 9th spot is actually at the top of your head. That is spot number 2, and then you can go all throughout your body. But the one thing I do want to say is that I am going to do one quick thing. I am removing my glasses because the last time I was doing it, my glasses were being a little finicky, but I was especially tapping around my eyes. So with all of that said, you can definitely play some calming music. I was playing some calming music in the previous video, but then you could not hear the kind of affirmations I was making. So rather than doing that, I will just do these affirmations without having any music. But I would definitely recommend that you do it so that you feel a little calmer. So before you start, just take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Right, and do make sure that when you're taking these deep breaths that your stomach is actually expanding, right? That was I remember when I used to play an instrument that probably the biggest thing I learned was you don't want your breath to be just caught up in the top of your lungs, because this part is actually very small. You want it actually in the cavernous region of your lungs where your tummy is, right? So always expand that part. But with that said, we actually start on the karate chop side. So here's an affirmation. I know, and you can do it with your eyes closed. I know my body is in distress. I know my body is struggling, but I am open to healing, and I am open to see my body become better. I'm opening my body to healing, and I know my body will improve as a result of this healing. My body does have certain issues with it, and I hope that my body will learn to heal because it is open to healing. I know my body will heal because it is open to healing, and that my body will find all of its flaws fixed soon. My body is perfect in many ways, and anything that is an imperfection in it will become better soon. My body is perfect, but to improve its perfection, it needs to heal in the right ways. My body is on its way to heal, and this is just an invitation for the healing to start. My body is healing, and if it hasn't started yet, it should start very soon. I am very happy with my body despite the challenges I face, because I know my body is going to be better as a result of this exercise. So that was one round of EFT tapping. I hope you got something out of this. I know that there are definitely lots of things that you can do EFT tapping for, especially if you are experiencing some anxiety, if you have some sad thoughts, and so definitely do give it a try, and I'm pretty sure you will see some benefits of it soon if you do it regularly, right? Considering it takes such a short time, I think I'll probably do it either right before sleeping, but considering I might forget, I'll probably do it right after I wake up every morning. Maybe even make that sort of my alarm that have to do EFT tapping every morning. But the one thing that I am noticing right now is just more upbeat attitude. So yes, please do share your thoughts, your comments, your insights, and your experiences if you have experienced this before. One thing I can definitely say is, while I haven't done all 9 things, I do know that sometimes when I tap like the top of my head, I do feel a little calmer. Sometimes I do massage this area, even though this is more of a tap and not a massage, and sometimes it is important to kind of you will probably start seeing some impact of doing this, because this is also something that is very new to me. So with that said, this is Narain's with MS. I am Narain, and of course here's me wishing you good night, sweet dreams, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I think this is the second time I'm doing it, but bye.